Money is a common issue everywhere. From paying the rent to mortgage to buying groceries and utilities, money is constantly flowing out of our wallets. Have you ever experienced the moment of panic when you check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Did I splurge on my alcohol addiction again? We've all been there. The struggle to manage our finance and make ends meet can be such a real challenge, especially when you need to smear your bread with some Nutella. And Nutellas can be quite expensive. If only they make a cheaper brand of Nutella. Don't cower in fear! Nutmaster is here! Nutmaster is here to spread nut all over your bread! It's more cheaper. It has 15% more hazelnut than Nutella to make sure you have a healthy dose of nuts inside your system. And that's what all counterfeit goods are for. They are here to keep you consuming without draining too much of your pocket. And they are here to save the day! And welcome back to the Base Indonesian Show, where we discuss politics, culture, and the random shebang! Today we'll be talking about knockoff goods. You know, the random Power Ranger figures and Ben 10 stickers you find on Asian markets? Counterfeit good. What are counterfeit goods? A quick search in Wikipedia says that counterfeit goods are goods, often of inferior quality, made or sold under another brand name without the brand's owner's authorization. Sellers of such goods may infringe on either the trademark, patent, or copyright of the brand owner by passing off its good as made by the brand owner. As such, counterfeit goods are knockoff brands, and knockoffs are sold cheaper to maximize profit by riding on the wave of success of a brand. In 2013, knockoffs are accounted for around 5 to 7% of global trade. It's estimated that these products cause the loss of approximately 2.5 million jobs worldwide, with up to 750,000 jobs lost in the United States. According to the OECD, about 5% of goods imported into the European Union in 2013 were fake. Due to its negative impact, knockoffs are supposed to be illegal everywhere. But in truth, you can find it in countries where enforcement of this law is weak. If you live in more Western societies where enforcement is strong, you can probably find it in web marketplace or sometimes Amazon. If you live in a third world country like me, you can probably find plenty of these everywhere. Identifying these cheap knockoffs are easy when you compare them to the real thing. Sometimes the knockoffs are distinguishable from the real thing, be it difference in logos, quality of material, and design. Other times, there are instances where even knockoffs are better than the real thing. So you might ask why people buy knockoffs instead of buying the real thing. Price is the common reason people decide to buy knockoffs. A lot of people who buy knockoffs want to experience the prestige of a brand but cannot afford to spend the full price of the goods. This was briefly explored in the 2021 movie House of Gucci, where Aldo Gucci, played by Al Pacino, explains to Patricia Reggiani, played by Lady Gaga, no less, why he's okay with knockoffs being sold in the streets of Brooklyn. Aldo mentions that he's willing to sell the illusion that even lower-income households can afford the prestige of Gucci, with the underlying implication being that it strengthens the brand name. However, Aldo glossed over the financial impact that knockoffs are inflicting on Gucci. That'll cost them millions. Returning to the topic at hand, you might wonder, who makes these knockoffs? Where do they come from? According to research released in 2023, China produces 80% of the world's knockoff goods. China's ascension to being the counterfeit king started in 1978. At that time, Deng Xiaoping began changing China's economy to attract foreign investments. Well-known brands such as Nike and Adidas moved their operations to China due to low wages and the country's potential market. This led to China becoming the top exporter globally, with around 70% of its exports being manufactured goods. China's newfound industrial capabilities and production power gave rise to counterfeiting, where it realized it can double profits by harnessing its capacity to produce by churning out knockoff goods. Many companies lost their supply chain in China, and lack of control over the humongous industrial might China leads to weakly regulated production, enabling an ecosystem of suppliers that enables counterfeit, flooding the markets with cheap knockoffs and reaping profits from other companies and brands. China has anti-counterfeit measures in place but has done little to enforce it, while also has laws to guard it against an international flow of knockoffs. Talk about double standards. With the increase of welfare and economy of an average Chinese person over the years, demands for luxury goods are increasing, and knockoffs are introduced to supply the market so that an average Chinese person is able to splurge on other luxuries. Some of these goods are exported through different channels to flood foreign markets, especially into developing nations that are still classified as third world countries. In countries such as this, knockoffs attract a huge number of people who want to experience the brand but are too broke to invest money on the real thing. You can find these knockoffs in Indonesia and Brazil, for example. And most of these people are selling them off at the streets with little to no police intervention. And these knockoffs are so cheap and abundant here that Kaira politicians tend to claim their Rolex watches are knockoffs. With knockoffs being 12.5% of total Chinese exports, China has profited a staggering amount of $600 billion in 2021 alone. Just for reference, $600 billion in stacks are about the size of a jet plane. This makes up more than 1.5% of China's annual GDP. Well, it's a good thing to know that counterfeit is a good side hustle for a country to make some money on the side. We Indonesians should take notes. Besides China, Turkey is apparently the second biggest counterfeit producer in the world. Its strategic location between Asia and Europe, attracting tourists from two continents, makes it profitable to flood Turkey's markets with fake knockoffs. Want to buy new Adidas shoes? Look no more! Pendik Market has got you. Apart from its location, the devaluing of the Turkish lira and deteriorating economy pushes demands for knockoffs above the roof. Factories in Turkey that produces legal goods often change to producing counterfeit goods in times of bad economies, especially nowadays with the high inflation in Turkey. And they continue to operate without much repercussion, as Turkey's attitude towards counterfeit goods is that they treat it as a minor problem and not a serious crime. Turkey looks to export these goods overseas to increase profits, with Bulgarian police often finding cases of Turkish counterfeit goods in Bulgarian markets and borders. In 2022, it is estimated that Turkey is the second highest exporter of knockoffs into the European Union, with profits amounting to 134 million euros, which is about $144 million. Freedom units. Though it remains to be seen if it will be a profitable side hustle for Turkey or not. Only time can tell. While most knockoffs are cheap footwear, luxury goods, clothes, watches, hats, and accessories, which are generally harmless to people, only companies are harmed by it. Them companies, am I right? This becomes a problem when the knockoffs are cheap food and medicine. Adulterated medications can cause death, severe injury, or introduce unnecessary health risk. According to Interpol, some fake medicines have been found to contain mercury, arsenic, rat poison, and cement. While knockoff foods has ingredients inside them that are harmful to health when consumed in some amount, like some knockoff milks are actually made from melamine. Some effects of this cause seizure, food poisoning, brain damage. Knockoff food and medicine should be an individual and public health concern, unless you have a stomach of iron or a worshipper of Nurgle. Also, these knockoff goods that are harmful to consume decreases the public confidence in certain products that are legal, because people have no way of knowing if it's real or fake, making people think twice about drinking that Chinese label soy milk they got down at an import store. So we must continue to raise awareness towards this issue as a matter of public health, especially considering that in some countries, medicine is expensive. America, I'm looking at you. It makes knockoff medicine slap with 100% works or trusted by doctors labels even more appealing. And imagine while you continue to choke on your own spit, these countries get rich from your morbid affliction. So if you don't want that to happen next time, double check if a product is so unabashedly cheap yet so good, it is too good to be true. No company is willing to give you good stuff for a low price. We live in an unforgiving capitalist world, remember? If you want to watch more content like this, don't forget to click like and subscribe. I think this is the like. I think this is the subscribe. This is the subscribe button. This is the like button, if I'm not mistaken. And we will bring you the nicest titles on your algorithm. Thanks for watching this episode of the Based Indonesian Show, and we will see you in the next one.